Actors from former DC movies are gradually making their way into the Marvel Universe. In this video, I will discuss both Henry Cavill and Dwayne Johnson's new roles in Marvel films. Previously, Cavill was rumored to have a small cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. However, aside from that scene, it has been reported that the actor has signed on for another role with Marvel. Additionally, it is said that Dwayne Johnson will portray a new character in Marvel's upcoming Mutant Saga projects following Secret Wars.
You know, from behind, you look a little bit like Henry. Oh my fuck!
The Cavalrine. The legends are true.
Let's start by discussing Dwayne Johnson's new character. As has been speculated for a long time, Dwayne Johnson is set to join Marvel to portray Apocalypse. As shown in the X-Men 97 animated series, Apocalypse's younger version already bore a strong resemblance to Johnson. Once the multiverse saga officially concludes, the MCU will fully integrate the history of mutants from the past to the present and into the future. This transition will create an enormous space for new storylines. Apocalypse has been a central figure in the X-Men series, existing in the past, present, and future. Therefore, it's safe to say that Apocalypse will be the main antagonist of the Mutant Saga. Marvel is planning to completely wrap up the multiverse saga, which primarily featured villains like Doctor Doom and Kang, by as early as 2027, when the Age of Apocalypse begins. They want to introduce a fresh actor to portray the character, since it is well known that different variants of Apocalypse exist across the multiverse. Marvel believes that introducing him just before transitioning to the Mutant Saga will establish stronger connections between the storylines. The X-Men movies within the Mutant Saga will be directed by the Russo brothers. This means that Apocalypse could make his first appearance in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. In my opinion, this is one of the best decisions Marvel has made so far. Although Johnson was a great fit for the role of Black Adam, his limited facial expressions and rigid demeanor make him a natural choice for playing Apocalypse, who also has a stoic appearance. Additionally, since he already bears a resemblance to Apocalypse's younger form, he could continue portraying the character throughout different time periods. Oscar Isaac previously played Apocalypse in the X-Men series, and I believe Dwayne Johnson could do the same. In the previous X-Men films, it was shown that Apocalypse could switch bodies to increase his powers. Isaac was able to play the character because the mutant he portrayed in the X-Men universe had a healing factor. However, in the original storyline, this was never explicitly stated. Instead, Apocalypse's base form evolved over time, ultimately becoming one of the most powerful mutants. While this will likely be Johnson's role in the MCU, Henry Cavill's situation is a bit more complex. There have been rumors that Henry Cavill will be part of the Nova series, but there are three different possibilities regarding his role. The first possibility is that Cavill will portray the original Nova. Richard Rider, this means that he could be shown as a Nova, Corps officer within the MCU. The second possibility is that he could join the MCU as Gladiator, Nova's enemy. If this happens, Cavill would once again play a Superman-like character, but in a villainous role, which might not sit well with some fans. Gladiator's real name is Clark, which closely resembles Clark Superman's real name. To put it simply, all of Gladiator's abilities closely resemble Superman's. You could even think of him as an alternative universe version of Superman who becomes an emperor. Of course, the MCU doesn't have to portray the character exactly like this. The Spartans in the comics are depicted with certain traits, which is why Clark's hair was styled similarly to theirs. Personally, I would love to see Cavill play a stronger, cosmic-level Superman variant, ever since the Snyderverse ended. We've been missing powerful Superman scenes. Right now, Marvel sees Henry Cavill as a valuable marketing asset. They plan to position him as Marvel's version of Superman. Much like how Wolverine became an iconic character, this strategy could help Disney Plus attract fans of the Snyderverse, who may feel alienated by Warner Brothers. In Deadpool and Wolverine, even Deadpool was shown mocking DC while defending Henry Cavill. The third potential role for Cavill is Hyperion, which many fans have long speculated. Hyperion was originally planned to appear in the MCU much earlier, specifically in Loki Season 2, with concept art even being developed. However, Marvel ultimately scrapped the idea. Hyperion was initially supposed to be a variant pruned by the TVA. He would then assemble a team of other pruned individuals to seek revenge against the TVA, but since this storyline didn't serve the overall narrative, it was abandoned. In the comics, there is no Hyperion in Earth 616. Instead, Hyperion originates from another universe and later integrates into Earth 616. Integrating this story into the Nova series would be difficult, but not impossible. If Henry Cavill were to join the MCU as Hyperion, they would likely need to utilize him in a multiversal storyline. That's why I personally believe he is more likely to appear as either Richard Rider or Gladiator. Still, I wanted to share all three possibilities with you. The Nova series will take place shortly after the events of Infinity War and Infinity War. Thanos attacked Xandar, home of the Nova cores, to acquire the Power Stone. The series will explore the aftermath of the Nova cores, destruction, and the fate of its surviving members, presented through a Disney Plus show. For this reason, I don't think Nova will be a large-scale multiversal project. While explaining which Marvel characters these two actors might portray, I also shared insights into upcoming projects. Both the Nova series and the Mutant Saga films are among the most highly anticipated MCU projects. After Endgame, many people speculated about the next major villain, with a large portion of fans believing it would be Kang. However, now it's clear that Doctor Doom and Beyonder will also play a significant role in the story. Those of us who followed the Snyderverse until the very end had high hopes of seeing certain characters interact in the DC universe, but unfortunately, that never materialized. At this point, I don't think we'll see a Black Adam versus Superman showdown anytime soon. Both actors have a strong fan base within the DC community, but it would be exciting to see them take on fitting roles in the MCU, rather than Avengers films. I was actually expecting the X-Men 97 series to be more directly connected to the Marvel wouldn't have revived X-Men 97 for no reason. The season finale featured a scene with Saba Noor, also known as Apocalypse, and in the background, we could see a Kong variant setting up what appeared to be a futuristic police force. That's why I expect Apocalypse to make his first appearance in the MCU through X-Men 97. Previous flashbacks already showed him in action. And there was another scene suggesting his return in the present day. Instead of introducing Apocalypse in new X-Men movies, I would prefer they tie X-Men 97 directly into the MCU. However, only time will tell how Marvel chooses to handle this story.